So howdy, my name is DeckDeck12 and you saw the title correctly anyway. I've never seen a video done like this before on Rec Room anyway. I've seen them done on other games. But I'm just going to be talking about what exactly Rec Room is, what it was, and how it's changed my life, and just topics like that. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I don't know how long it's gonna be yet anyway, but I'm hoping it's quite long, so I hope you all enjoyed this long video. And yeah, let's just get started with what it is. It's a VR socializing game. You don't need a VR for it though. You can play it just on regular console, iOS, or PC, and soon Xbox. As this video is being made, Xbox is not fully out yet, they're still testing it. So it's a VR socializing game, and you can play loads of activities in it, and you can level up to level 50, and you can meet new friends, and people from all over the world. And overall, it's a really cool game, because you get to meet new people, talk with new people, and just get to know people over time. And you can play loads of activities with your friends. You, like, for example, there's paintball, laser tag, there's some quests like Golden Trophy where you get to fight loads of goblins and kill the enemy at the end. Then there's others like 3D charades, there's paddleball, and just so on and so on. They even have a battle royale as well. So for anyone that joins Rec Room, there's always going to be something you like. As well, there is hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of player-created rooms that you can go with to your friends, and you can create your own room if you really want to. And I think it's a really neat idea, in my opinion. So that is what Rec Room is. It was the same back then, but some stuff have changed. Of course, there's been updates and everything, but mainly with the community, it's changed. I'll get onto that later though, do not worry about it now. So, that is what Rec Room is. So, the exact date that I got Rec Room was the 28th of October 2018. And I just got Rec Room because I saw it was VR compatible, and I just wanted to play a new game with my friends that was multiplayer. And it was free, and everything. I've known about the game for years, but I didn't know it was on PlayStation at the time. So I downloaded it and I hopped on and just played around for a bit. I rarely played it at first because I didn't really have much to do. Like I wasn't able to go on my VR because I didn't know you needed motion controllers. I thought you could just play with the VR and a regular controller. So when I first joined Rec Room, there was like, I'd say, a daily average of 1,000 players. I'd say like there was a daily average of 1,000 active players, and everyone was kind to one another. There was no drama or problems back then. We all used to just talk. You can meet some really cool people. You can still meet people, like cool people nowadays, of course, but just back then everyone you met was cool and kind. And you can make proper friendships back then. And it was very nice. I felt wanted and I felt welcome when I first started to talk with people. And it was amazing. And what Rec Room is now, in 2020 anyway, I will say the date because you could be watching this in 2021 or 2020. You could be watching this whenever. So Rec Room now is... they've actually changed the name of the company that made it. I think they used to be called, like, the company that made Rec Room used to be called Against Gravity, and now they are called Rec Room completely. So they've just went with Rec Room. And what Rec Room is now is there is a lot of toxic people, and there's items you can buy in the game. And some of them are like very, very dear, and you can buy currency in the game as well, which is called tokens. I forgot to mention that, sorry. And people always ask, like regular people that look like they bought tokens, could they get gifted one of the items? And gifted means, could they like get one of the items for them? They pay for it for them and give it to them, pretty much. And there's lots of them nowadays with any new item that comes out and everything. And back then there was none. There was not one. There, like, because when I first joined the game, it wasn't a thing. You couldn't gift people. It's been a thing for like a year and a half now, since early 2019, I believe. And even when it first came out, people sometimes asked just because they wanted to see the new feature. And yeah, it's just a daily thing now for regular Rec Room players, like myself. I get asked to gift people and everything. Rec Room nowadays, it's also much more toxic. Like back then when you went to paintball, for example. You'd killed someone in paintball back then, and they'd be like, oh, good job, that was a super sick shot. Nowadays it's like, oh, I'm going to report you, oh, you're hacking. And just toxic people overall. I'm still the same as I was. I still do compliment people most of the time. And now it's just all different. And back then, nearly everyone on the game spoke. Nowadays, there's loads of people that just don't speak, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people just aren't comfortable with their voice, and I completely understand that. In my eyes, everyone's voice is beautiful. No matter what you sound like, where you're from, you're beautiful. But yeah, so sometimes people, regularly the mute people is what they go by. I think they go by mutes. They're regularly the best at like Rec Room activities, like paintball, there's dodgeball I forgot to mention as well. As I said, there's loads of activities that I did not mention them all. But like in paintball, dodgeball, laser tag, there's loads of like mutes that played that are really good, and they never really speak, so when they kill you it just looks like they're soulless and a robot, in my eyes anyway. Which isn't a bad thing or anything, it just makes me feel weird when I die because I don't know what to say to them. Because, well, they're mute. And nowadays, back then, there's this thing in Rec Room called the reporting system. And if there's a player misbehaving, the code of conduct, which is the rule system of Rec Room, that player, they can get reported if they misbehave or break any of the rules. Back then, people only reported if anyone actually did break the rules. Nowadays, if, say for example with toxic people, if you killed someone in paintball, oh, I'm going to report you, and they report you, and you have a chance of getting your account banned for like, it could be 10 minutes, 1 hour, or it can go up to like 27 years, I think is the max. And it's very bad nowadays. Back then, it was okay. The report system, as it's called, used to work fine. But now in Rec Room, the report system is broken, you could say, and doesn't work properly like it did. So if you get reported, you have a higher chance of being banned for no reason. You literally could have just killed someone regularly, or could have just said something and someone took it the wrong way, right? It's not Rec Room's fault at all. Some of the stuff at Rec Room's fault with like the report system and everything, they could fix that. It's regularly the community of the game. Of course, there's still nice people out there, and there's still lovely people that you meet on the game every day. Of course. Right? And Rec Room nowadays, there's also, I'd say, an average of 10,000 daily players. Like active players. And it makes the server sometimes very laggy with the amount of people that are on at like a single time. The max people you can have in one game is 40 people, which is rare, but it's possible. And yeah, so that's kind of what Rec Room is now. Back then it was nice and innocent, that you can meet loads of cool people and everything. Nowadays it's just filled with toxic kids, Like underage kids as well, you need to be 13 and up to be on a regular account, and if you're below 13, you go on a junior account. And just now it's all toxic and just salty people, you could say would be the right term. And yeah, in my opinion, Rec Room was much more fun back then. Like I'm glad I met some of my friends. Now, of course, I wouldn't have met them because they wouldn't have been back on when I was, because I've been on this game for quite a while. Because I forgot to mention, Rec Room came out in 2016. I forget the month, but it came out in 2016. I think in June or July. I could be wrong though. But you can Google it up. And yeah, so I'll go on to the next topic. So how has Rec Room changed my life personally? So when I first joined Rec Room, I was only the age of 12. I'm 14 now, of course, 2 years. I know I don't sound it, okay? I am sorry for that, that's not my fault. I didn't take any drugs or anything to sound like this, okay? This is my voice. And it changed my life because when I first came on, I actually did sound different. I sounded much more shy and everything because I was very shy back then. And even back then I was scared to go to public lobbies because you can make private lobbies in the game. And I was scared to go to public ones. I eventually built up courage and went to, and now I go to public rooms all the time. In Rec Room they prefer to rooms, Rec Room of course, not lobbies. For some VRChat players, I think it's lobbies. I know I haven't been on VRChat since 2017, so I forget. I could have changed it. But how it changed my life is I was very shy when I first came on, and then I used to actually be considered a mute myself. I know nearly everyone used to speak, but I was one of the few that were mute sometimes. I'd only speak with my good friends that I made on the game at night. And I remember speaking for like the first time in the game, and I was very proud of myself after it when I got off, and I just kept doing that. And now it's much more easier to talk in game, like online, and in the real world it's much more easier to talk to people. It's also Rec Room as like built me up courage to do stuff and defend myself and ask for stuff. I used to never say anything. Like if someone was like, oh yeah, where do you want to go? And I'd just be like, oh yeah, go wherever you like, to my family or anything. But now, oh yeah, where do you want to go? And for example, I'd say, well actually I'm not going to say a company just in case of somehow they can take this video down. You never know with YouTube. And yeah, I actually say what I want now, and I'm very proud of that, and it's a very good feeling to know what you want. And I'm also kind of considered a therapist in the game. And it's very nice. I get to help people on like sometimes a daily basis, sometimes once a week or something. Whenever someone messages me, I always get a session set up for them and then talk about their problems with them. And a lot of people have thanked me for it. So it's kind of like I have my mini job in the virtual world as well. It's very nice. Rec Room has also made me meet a lot of people that I want to stick with for life. I didn't have like really any friends when I first started. Had like at most 5 or 6 good ones. Now I've like 20 or something good friends that I try to speak to on a daily basis. And it's amazing. I speak to like 50 or more people on a daily basis now because of this game. Whenever I'm on the game anyway. I'm not on it daily, of course. But yeah, it's changed my life for the better, I'd say, because it's built up courage for me, and I know what to say in the moment, and I know what to do now, and I feel like I've learned a lot from this game that I'll probably keep for life, and I've made a lot of good friends that I want to keep for life. And it's amazing. In my eyes, this game is probably my favorite game of all time because of how much it's helped me. And personally, the developers of the game, or the devs as they're referred to, I know some of them, not personally of course, but I've talked to some of them, and some of them are very nice, and some of them actually like me. And it's amazing how this game has just changed over time, in my eyes anyway. But yeah, that is how this game has changed my life anyway. It could be similar to if it's changed anyone else's. Sometimes it changes people's lives for the worst, sometimes for the best. It's different with everyone, because everyone is different. But yeah, next topic. So even the side of Rec Room that I'm kind of a part of. So if there's YouTubers on Rec Room and are, I guess, popular of Rec Room, because 1,000 subs on Rec Room is technically like 1 million. Oh no, 1,000 subs on YouTube from Rec Room and in Rec Room, I guess, as well. It's like 1 million subs, and like you're quite popular, so that's why it's amazing to see what it's like to be a YouTuber, I guess. But back then, there were 3 legends that I used to look up to. They were called the Rec Room YouTubers. There was only 3 of them back then. I'll put their names here and say them, of course. So there was Hairy Man Legs, Soulfox Gaming, and Bowfire. And personally, I know them all. They're all lovely people, and I do have experience with all of them. They've all treated me quite well. But now there's lots of other Rec Room YouTubers. Like, I'm kind of in the middle of the new ones and the old ones, because I've been one for quite a bit. And there's new ones. Okay, I'm not going to say them because I'll say a name, and if I don't mention someone, they're going to be like, oh, you forgot me, oof, I'm not a good friend, blah blah blah. But yeah, there's like a lot of new upcoming Rec Room YouTubers, which is amazing. It's amazing to see more content and just people in the YouTube community side of Rec Room. It's amazing to see that. It's just weird how there was only 3 and now there's at least 15 like good ones. And there's a lot of famous people in Rec Room itself, like builders and everything. And I guess in my eyes it's not a bad thing. I'm good friends with the new Rec Room YouTubers as well. Some of them, they are really nice. Some of them, of course, are not as nice like as the old ones, but Hairy Man Legs, Soulfox Gaming, and Bowfire, they still all play Rec Room. By the way, they didn't quit. They still do play Rec Room, and I still consider them the 3 Rec Room YouTubers of history. The 3 legends, if you will. And now, some people I think consider loads of legends of Rec Room. Some people consider me one of them, I guess. I don't consider myself one, I just consider myself an Irish person that plays video games and has fun at what he does. So, yeah, but that's how the YouTube side of Rec Room has changed over time as well. I want to thank you for listening and watching my documentary on Rec Room. It has been a pleasure talking about my opinions on the game and what it was and what it is now. In my eyes, it's still an amazing game, and I know I've probably missed some topics, but that's why you should go check Rec Room out for yourself, and you can see how good it is. And if you don't like it, you can always just never play it. So Rec Room, it is free on PS4, probably PS5 now soon as well, PC, iOS, and soon Xbox. So it's crossplay on all of them as well, so you can meet people from anywhere. Because remember, with Rec Room, join the fun for free. Thanks for watching. Good night.